What's going on, guys? It's Matthew here with Gadget University, and I'm here with a review of the Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge Plus on Verizon Wireless. Now, first things first, the most distinguishing part of this phone is the design, and as you can see, this has an edge curved glass on the edge, and it is a beautiful phone. It reminds me a lot of the iPhone 6 Plus, mostly because of the size and the metal build quality, but I must say that this phone feels awesome in the hand. The curved screen feels great when you're holding it, and it's a nice, very nice to type on. So let's get to some of the specs on the device and some of the particulars first before we get into some of the software. So first up, this phone is about 6 inches tall, about 3 inches wide. So it's very similar again to the 6 Plus in size and dimension. It's pretty light. It's about 5 ounces, so it's not too heavy, even though it has this metal and glass build. It feels very nice in the hand. The weight is very evenly distributed, so when you're holding it, you don't feel like it's top heavy or anything like that. Now, the screen is humongous. It is 5.7 inches, and the resolution is beautiful. It's 2560 by 1440, so you are getting a QHD display. You're getting a lot of pixels in this screen. You cannot discern a single pixel when you're looking really close up to it. It looks beautiful when you're watching movies and just texting or browsing the web. Everything looks clear and readable. So let's go ahead and look around the device. So front of the device, of course, you have your proximity and ambient light sensors. You have your front-facing camera. The camera is a 5-megapixel camera on the front. And you have your speaker grill, of course. You have your home button across the bottom here, and this home button is phenomenal. I am an iPhone user, and I will say this, that this fingerprint reader is leaps and bounds better than the Touch ID that's on the iPhone. It is, I'll show you right now how great it is. Look how fast that was. Like that shows up like immediately as soon as you put your thumb on there. It's very accurate. I think that's actually mostly due to the design. If you notice, the design is very wide, so it fits your thumbprint much better, and you can do it from the side or straight forward or anything like that. So it's pretty accurate in picking it up. So let's continue with the device. So inside, you have a very powerful processor. It's an 8-core processor. So in layman terms, guys, this phone does not lag. You can pretty much do anything you want on it, as far as like multitasking. So you could be watching a movie, texting on the web, downloading, doing all those different things at the same time, and it's going to perform great, doesn't lag. Has 4 gigs of RAM inside. That is crazy that we are at a point now that we have 4 gigs of RAM in the device. On the back, okay, you have your camera. That is a 16 megapixel camera. It is a f1.9 aperture, so you can get some pretty sharp shots. Personally, I was pretty disappointed in the photo quality, but it is pretty good. We'll say that. Has optical image stabilization, so your cameras and your videos, your photos and your videos are not going to be very blurry if you have a little bit of handshake. Battery, 3,000 milliamp battery, got me throughout the day on heavy use. I was pretty pleased with that. It supports wireless charging through the back, which I'll discuss later in my review, and that works pretty well as well. Of course, it has all the typical stuff, guys. It has the Bluetooth, GPS, all the radios that you need, wireless AC, LTE, Category 9. So you're getting some really fast speeds when it comes to internet on this device. I use this in my home and have it connected to my 5 gigahertz network, and this thing just pulls up web pages like instantly. So that's a nice plus, especially when you have this large screen. You want to use this to consume a lot of media, watch some YouTube, hopefully my channel if you do, and it just comes up really good. So other than that, this phone is top of the line in my opinion. If you look at the other phone that's the brother to this phone, which is the Note 5, the only difference is that the build quality on Note 5 seems a little bit better because it has a metal side, doesn't have the curved screen, as well as it has a stylus on the bottom, which leads me to the bottom of the phone, which I forgot to talk about. You have your typical, your 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, your micro USB, and your speaker grill. This is a mono speaker. It's not stereo, so quality's not that great, but it still looks pretty good. And I'll just take a moment to note this. The bottom of this phone looks pretty familiar. Yeah, just look at that for a second. Anyway, again, great phone in the hand. I really enjoyed using this phone. I'm not really an Android person. If you guys catch my drift, I've used Android once upon a time. I mean, when I say once upon a time, I mean once upon a time I used Android. And I love it. I love the openness of it. I love the customization you can do. I love all the different things you can do with it. So it was nice to kind of come back to a phone that I actually like, especially since Samsung, as I remember, was really heavy with TouchWiz on the software. But this software is pretty good. Okay, in this phone you're getting Android 5.1, and it's not tainted too much by Samsung's TouchWiz. It's not too bad. You see how quick the the fingerprint sensor is. This is phenomenal. Anyway, this phone is pretty quick. Moving through the screens is very fast. I'm having a little bit of trouble trying to navigate the phone through the camera, so if I mess up, I apologize about that. But your app drawer, everything comes up really fast. Apps load quickly, of course, depending on your internet, of course. And videos look phenomenal. I'm gonna put on a 4K sample video for you, and you're gonna see how awesome this screen looks. It's gonna be hard to pick up on this camera because I'm filming in 720p 60 frames, but you can see just how crisp the screen is. And you can kind of get a grasp of how loud the speaker is. This is at 100%. So as you can tell, I mean, this phone is great for using to watch YouTube and, movies and things like that. That's pretty much what it's for. I have noticed that because of the curved screen around the edges, when you're watching a movie, it kind of has like that little warp effect to it. It's not too bad. It's not that bad at all. I really don't mind it. I actually think it kind of makes the movie look a little cool. It kind of sucks you into the movie a little bit better because it kind of gives you the sense of immersion. You have to kind of experience to really, when you're watching it like in a dark room or something like that, you'll see what I'm talking about. Other than that, overall great phone. It is $299 on contract, and it does come with a 64 gigabyte internal storage. There are no options for expandability when it comes to changing out the battery or adding a micro SD card slot. So you're kind of stuck with the 64 because that's really it. 128 is available, but I don't believe it's available in the US. So if you're watching me and you're outside of the US, you might have an option to get a 128 gigabyte S6 Edge Plus. I always have a hard time saying it. It is a long name. Other than that, guys, great phone. Highly recommended from an iPhone user. I think this is a great Android phone to pick up if you are interested. If you don't really like the Edge, because if you notice, I haven't really talked too much about the actual Edge functionality. The Edge, honestly, is a gimmick, just like a lot of Samsung things, like the stylus sometimes. But I don't really use the Edge at all. I will say this: the Edge on this screen, allows you to hold the phone a lot better than I would say the Note 5. I've held the Note 5 in my hand, and the tapered edges right here on the Note 5 make it a little awkward to hold. But this curve, the size of this phone, I have medium-sized hands. It just works a lot better when you're trying to use it with one hand. As you see, I can kind of reach over and touch that icon. That's why I have those icons to stop right here, so that I can kind of use it with one hand without having to struggle. And I think that is where we are with phones these days. These phones are so large that you really don't have any other option but to buy a large phone. So you gotta find your sweet spot when it comes to what size is good for you. And I think this is actually not a bad size. It doesn't feel as big as the 6 Plus did when I did have that phone. It feels a lot more manageable in the hand. that is it for my review. If you have any questions for me, please let me know down in the comments below. As always, if you like the video, please like. And if this is your first time watching me, please subscribe. I do put up videos every now and then. I will start making more videos, a lot more on some Android devices because, you know, iOS is a little boring right now. And even with the 6S coming out, I'm kind of really interested in what Android has to offer lately, and including Android Wear. So definitely leave a comment below if you want me to pick up some Android Wear devices and do some review on those. I will be thinking about doing that. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you later in my next video. Peace. So let's also talk about some of the options you have to charge it. This has a 3000 milliamp battery, so it's going to take a while to charge the battery if you were to use a normal one. So what Samsung has implemented is some fast charging on here. It comes with a fast charger, and it is a special charger that you have to use, and it will charge your phone to 100% in about maybe 55 minutes. Also, you have the option to utilize a wireless charger, which is pretty cool because what this means is you can literally put your phone in a case and you don't have to worry about taking it out or unplugging anything, or it's really convenient. And what I've noticed that's really great is this is a pretty much off-the-shelf third-party wireless charger. This isn't the one that Samsung sells with the phone, or as an additional accessory. And as you can see, once you put it on there, it works right away. And it comes up and it starts charging, and once it's full, it sits there and it's ready for you next time you want to use it. I mean, we always put our phones down anyway when we're not using them. Why not put it down on a wireless charger and let it, stay at 100%? What I've noticed is that because I'm able to do this with this phone, the battery life really isn't a problem on this phone. It's just so easy to charge. You don't have to worry about plugging something in. You always put your phone down every now and then. Just imagine every time you put your phone down, it is literally charging, and I find that to be really convenient. It charges pretty fast. I noticed something that a lot of other reviewers have said. They said that technically wireless charging is slower than your traditional method of plugging it through the USB port. But what I've found is that when I use the rapid charger plugged into a wireless charger, it works pretty good. It's pretty fast. I would say maybe about 10 minutes slower. And that's not a big deal to me. I think that's still pretty good, considering that a couple years ago when the wireless charging first came out, it was significantly slower than what it is today. So it's gotten much better. It's more reliable. There used to be like a certain sweet spot you had to have it at. I don't know if what they've done back here, but it seems like this whole backside right here is the range of where you need to put the wireless charger. And, you can put it on the edge, way down here. It comes on. It's pretty good.